This morning, overnight rain causing early morning flooding. Take a look at the roads impacted.
Plus, Madison authorities are investigating multiple robberies across the city. How you can help them this morning.
And another person is throwing their hat into the DeForest trustee ring. What we know about her campaign.
Well, good Tuesday morning, and thank you for joining us on News 3 Now this morning. I'm Michelle Renee Quinn, filling in for Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrian Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. Hope your Tuesday is off to a great start. I know it's Tuesday, but you know, hey, we have things to smile about, that's for sure.
Yes, we do. And I'm smiling about the sunshine in our forecast coming up. Let's check in now with Savannah Brito, and she'll tell you a little bit about that radar and what's coming next.
Yeah, we do have a lot of sunshine. That's post all the heavy rainfall that we got yesterday. Basically, wherever the red is, that was the heaviest rain that we had that fell just to our south, and then the purple around that too. So timing out exactly how much areas saw, basically just to the southwest of Madison, and for areas east of Platteville, they got 2.5 inches of rainfall. But if you go just south, kind of just south of the border, south of Janesville, they got upwards of 4.5 inches of rainfall. For the Madison area, I would say about an inch and a half of rainfall, and then anywhere you see green, those are only a couple tenths of an inch of rain. So up near the Dells, and then more specifically the Lone Rock, Watertown areas, Prairie du Chien saw the least amount of rain, but we're still dealing with some pretty bad flooding, especially in Rock County south of here and across northern Illinois. 65, we'll see some sunshine later. We'll talk about how long that's going to stick around.
Savannah, thank you. New this morning, overnight flooding caused by heavy rains may impact some drivers' morning commute. Let's take a look at this video here from Andrea, one of our viewers in Beloit. If you live or commute in Beloit, drive only when necessary and avoid those flooded roads. Turn around, don't drown. We don't yet know which roads are impacted, but we will provide updates on where to avoid on air and on our website, channel3000.com.
With extreme weather events on the rise, the American Red Cross of Wisconsin is asking for your help responding to the local and nationwide emergencies. The group issued an urgent call for volunteers, saying it needs more trained responders who can deploy at a moment's notice. The Red Cross says volunteers will receive free, flexible training and can choose roles that work within their schedules.
Now to continuing coverage of the upcoming special election in DeForest. A new candidate has entered the race for the village board. Stacey Peterson announced her candidacy, saying that if elected, she will focus on supporting responsible growth, enhancing quality of life, prioritizing essential services, and providing respectful, transparent leadership. The special election follows the recall of former trustee Bill Landgraf. Residents behind the recall petition cited alleged intimidation and harassment. Landgraf has announced he will run again. The election is scheduled for September 16th.
New developments this morning in the case against the father of the Abundant Life school shooter. Jeffrey Ruppnow's attorneys are pushing to dismiss the charges against him. They argue that the liability theory prosecutors used to connect him to the deadly shooting does not hold up under traditional legal review and violates his Second Amendment rights. Ruppnow faces charges of intentionally providing a dangerous weapon to a person under 18 and contributing to child delinquency. Prosecutors say his 15-year-old daughter opened fire at Abundant Life, killing her classmate and a teacher, injuring 6 others, and then taking her own life.
An investigation is underway into a weekend shooting on Madison's southwest side that left 1 man injured. Police say it happened on Allied Drive. Police say a man with a gunshot wound to the leg was transported to the hospital and later released with non-life-threatening injuries. No arrests have been made in connection with the shooting. Police urge anyone with information to please come forward.
Police are also asking for you to help them solve 2 weekend robberies. The first one occurred around 11:30 Saturday night in the 4100 block of East Washington Avenue. Authorities say one person allegedly went behind the counter and implied they had a gun, while another asked for the location of a safe. Both later fled from the scene.
And police are still investigating a second robbery that happened just blocks from the state capitol. Police say a man allegedly threatened staff with a weapon. The workers opened the register and the man left with the money. This incident took place on East Washington Avenue just after 4:30 last Friday afternoon.
Anyone with information in either incident is asked to contact the Madison Police Department at 608-255-2345 or visit Madison Area Crime Stoppers website at p3tips.com.
Now to national news this morning. President Trump says he is working to set up new talks between Russia and Ukraine. During a meeting with European leaders, Trump pushed for a full peace agreement. However, his European counterparts insisted on a ceasefire first, saying it must be agreed upon before future negotiations. The group also discussed potential guarantees to protect Ukraine after the war. If agreed, the involved nations could deploy troops to help deter future Russian invasions.
The House Oversight Committee may soon be receiving some Justice Department Epstein records this week. The committee's chair says the panel could get those documents as soon as Friday. The DOJ was originally subpoenaed to release those documents by today. It also comes as the panel heard testimony from former Trump Attorney General Bill Barr.
In more local news, a troubled Fitchburg business is rebranding after the city's Common Council renewed its liquor license with conditions. Monkey Shine's Bar and Grill will now operate as Cornerstone Grill. The rebrand follows several years of trouble, including a deadly stabbing in the business's parking lot in May. This incident prompted the city to consider not renewing the alcohol license. In response, the owner proposed several changes to improve their image. These changes included closing the entire month of July, shifting closing time from 1:30 a.m. to 11 p.m., creating a family-friendly environment, and a name change. News 3 Now reached out to the owners of Cornerstone Grill for comment, but they said they are not doing interviews at this time. They plan to speak after reopening in the coming weeks.
Happening tomorrow, WISC-TV and Television Wisconsin will activate 2 new transmitters. This upgrade will provide antenna viewers with a clearer picture of our programming. However, you will need to rescan your TV after the launch to receive that improved signal. To do this, open your TV's menu, select Settings, then choose Channel Scan or Auto Tune. We'll post these instructions on our website, channel3000.com/rescan.
Let's take a look now at the weather. I'm sure everybody's wondering what's going on out there as they head out the door, Savannah.
Yeah, guys, and look at that background behind you. Nothing but blue skies, a little bit of cumulus, fair weather clouds. It's exactly what we're going to see later in the day. We just have to get through the fog, the humidity, and the clouds that we're currently waking up to. But it'll be a good day later, and as a whole, the next several days look pretty good. We're even tracking a stretch of cooler weather. For now, though, temperatures at 65 in Madison, 70 in Janesville, 69 in Boscobel, and 63 in Watoma. Here's the fog outside of Platteville, so it is a little bit more widespread even west of Platteville out across portions of Iowa, but we still do have that, and we'll see lower visibilities continue for the next couple of hours, and then those should climb. Temperatures are going to be back up into the upper 70s, but then we've got cooler days where we could even see highs in the mid to upper 60s. We'll talk about when, and cooler nighttime temps as well. It's coming up.
Savannah, thank you. Coming up after the break, some health experts are warning that many students are not getting enough nutrition ahead of the school year. How you can get your kids to eat their greens.
And the beginning of the school year is almost here, meaning you may have more on your to-do list. Ahead, how you can avoid the stress of overbooking yourself.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Welcome back. In your morning health news, a new study says approval of the over-the-counter birth control pill has improved access to contraception. A new study found that in the 2 years since the FDA approved the pill, use among people who previously didn't use any contraceptives increased by 31%. Researchers say this improvement benefits Americans with limited health care access, including minority groups and people in low-income and rural communities.
People with hearing loss who use hearing aids have a significantly lower risk of dementia. Among hearing loss patients under 70, those who used hearing aids had a 61% lower risk of being diagnosed. It's believed that untreated hearing loss forces the brain to work harder to hear and leads to social isolation, both of which increase the risk of dementia.
While parents enjoy seeing their kids at their best in after-school sports and activities, having too many commitments can increase the risk of overscheduling. Dr. Anthony Manarino says children today often have more activities than previous generations. He advises parents to watch for signs that overscheduling is a problem.
Are they anxious? Do they complain a lot about the activities? See how they do. Instead of just starting the school year every afternoon after school booked with something.
At the start of the school year, families face the challenge of helping kids settle back into the school routine.
UW Health says now is the time to start thinking about starting the school year strong with good nutrition. UW Health experts are saying kids should be eating roughly 5 fruits and vegetables each day, but they do warn many fail to meet that requirement. Dietitians recommend using frozen or canned fruits and vegetables as a budget-friendly alternative when fresh foods are not in season.
Well, we're tracking temperatures that are in the mid to upper 60s, even a couple of 70s, but for the most part, Dane County is starting to see temperatures cool down. 65 in Madison, 70 though still this morning in Edgerton. Most of us though are in the mid to upper 60s. We'll see temperatures climb though back into the upper 70s, still a couple degrees below average, and we're finally going to have more comfortable dew points settle in later this evening into tonight. So it won't be as muggy, but right now we are seeing high humidity levels, and that's leading to a lot of patchy fog out there. Monroe is seeing the most low visibility out there and the most dense of fog. They're down to just a half a mile. Madison's currently at 10. This has been fluctuating throughout the morning though, so just know that these will continue to move up and down over the next couple of hours, but by mid to late morning, visibilities come up and then the fog is going to clear out. Wisconsin Dells is only at 2 miles. So we have a couple of warmer days ahead where we'll at least be near normal, but overall our temperature pattern is going to be cooler than normal, and not only a little bit but a lot. You can see those dark blues right across pretty much the entire state of Madison and a lot of the Midwest. That includes the state of Illinois too, where that's about a 70% chance of seeing below average temperatures in that time frame, unfortunately taking us right up to Labor Day weekend. The good news is about near normal precipitation chances. We do not need any more rain after all the flooding that we had, and then even southeastern Wisconsin, so Milwaukee, Kenosha, and the Lake Geneva and Beloit areas, probably going to see less precipitation there. That's a drier than normal temperature time frame for that. It's the same thing though about leading us to the Friday ahead of Labor Day, which the 10-day does not extend to that, but I think we are going to see temperatures cool down a lot. In fact, the coolest nighttime temps in your next 10 days are going to be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday nights. We could even get down to the upper 40s Sunday night, so might be some nights ahead that you can open the windows if you don't mind it getting a little chilly inside. We're also tracking a lot of sunshine and finally dry weather conditions. Your coolest days the second half of this upcoming weekend on Sunday, and that'll last into early next week. It'll almost feel a little late September like.
We are officially just 9 days away from Wisconsin football's season opener, which means we're also just 9 days out from our Badger Special, a 30-minute show that will air right here on News 3 Now at 6:30 next Friday. Eric Franke and I will be live from campus for the big night for the Badgers, a night that you could say Vinny Anthony is very excited for.
I think we'll surprise people on how good we actually are. And I think people don't know how good we are just because they haven't seen us in just the last year, but we're a totally different team mentally and physically. I can't wait for it. I can't stop moving right now. I want to go play. Like, I can't wait. I really can't wait.
If there is an injury bug flying around the locker room in Green Bay, I'd say it's evolved from a bug into some sort of other creature. Seriously, it is an alarming amount of injuries taking place for the Packers this preseason. None more important, of course, than Jordan Love's ligament in his non-throwing thumb. The good news is 6 days after getting that surgery, that thumb must not be bugging him too much. He was already out back on the practice field yesterday. Speaking of injured Packers, Xavier McKinney, another one of those. He's expected to play in Week 1 and got some good news yesterday, slotting in at number 30 in the NFL's top 100 players list. That's the highest ranked Packer so far. It felt like the Crew might never, ever lose. It was an incredible streak that the Brewers went on. On Saturday, Milwaukee's magic continued as the Brewers, against all odds, won their 14th straight game, setting a new franchise record. And just like all good things in life, it had to come to an end. A magical run that did come to an end on Sunday and got me thinking, where does it stack up among the best streaks in the history of our state? For my money, and of course, this just according to my opinion, this is how it would go. Since 2000, you have to start with those Cuba City girls basketball teams that won 76 straight. That's followed, of course, by a close second when Wanakee strung together 48 straight. And who could forget the Packers run in the early 2010s, 19 straight games, including a Super Bowl victory. This year's Brew Crew in good company right behind them, rounded out by the 2019 Bucks, who won 18 in a row. Now back to baseball. The Brewers had a chance to start a new streak yesterday. The first game in a 5-game set in Chicago was scoreless in the third until Bryce Terang touched them all. His 13th homer of the year and his 7th in the month of August make it 1-0 Crew. And in the fifth, Terang says one is nice, but twice is Bryce. He drives in another run, and the Brewers beat the Cubs 7-0. You can catch tonight's game right on our sister station on Television Wisconsin. In fact, the Brewers will play a doubleheader today. The back end of their doubleheader last night got rained out. That's your morning sports fix. Have a top-notch Tuesday.
In more sports news, the Packers are getting ready for this weekend's pregame season.
Jason Wilde gives us a quick look at the 2 times you can still see them practicing for Saturday's big game.
How you doing, everybody? Good morning from Lambeau Field. If you've been considering coming to training camp to see the Packers practice in person, you've got 2 more chances to come up from the greater Madison area. One is today when they have a regular in-pads practice, and the other is Thursday when they have a joint practice with the Seattle Seahawks. After that, practice will be closed. The Packers will have their final preseason game next Saturday against the Seahawks, and then we're into the regular season, getting ready for the September 7th opener against the Detroit Lions right here at Lambeau Field and right here on Channel 3. We'll have all the coverage from Green Bay all day long, all week long, and all season long for free at channel3000.com. And don't forget, while you're there, to sign up for our newsletter, which delivers our coverage directly to your inbox every single day. That's it from here. Back to you in the studio.
Jason, thank you. And still ahead, from fries to mashed to chips, one of America's favorite comfort foods is getting the spotlight today.
And coming up in our next half hour, the Madison police chief interviews have been released, where you can find them just ahead.
And before we head to break, let's take a look at gas prices this morning. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Take a look at this photo of a hummingbird. This was sent in by Sierra. Thanks so much for sending this in. I do love to see all of the animals, especially if they're ones that we don't usually get to see.
I know, love that picture. And you said you had one come down under your finger, right?
So I have not had that personally,
Okay.
but they do have little hummingbird feeders that you can put on your finger and you can hold it if you sit still,
so
or
cool.
maybe like put it on your leg so you can not move.
not move.
But then they come and you can see them up close. The one I had was
Cool.
just a hanging right by the deck.
We'll have to try that on the weather patio.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys do that. I'll take the video.
Oh, okay.
I'll take the video.
Take the picture.
From inside.
No, I'll go outside for that. Unless they attack you, then I'm done.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
anyways.
Unless you're too sweet, maybe they will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then in that case, I better not go out there.
On the inside.
Yes. Well, here's what's trending this morning. Today is National Potato Day. If you're like me, potato connoisseur, then this is your day. So whether they're baked, fried, mashed, or however you like them, potatoes are a staple for many meals, of course. And there's thousands of varieties of them, according to the International Potato Center. So what's your favorite type? Like, how do you like your potatoes? Like normally, like when you think about it, what's your go-to?
This is hard because there's so many types of potatoes
Yes.
that I love.
I like fries if I'm going to like a steakhouse, garlic mashed potatoes.
See, I'm not a, I like my grandmother's mashed potatoes.
See, I'm
On
gonna have to
Thanksgiving.
go.
Those are good.
those are so
mashed
good,
potatoes on
yeah.
Thanksgiving. Yep.
My mom's Thanksgiving mashed potatoes are pretty high up there,
Me too.
but I would have to say right above that is like hash browns or tater tots. I like the crunch with it. I really do.
Yeah.
But I love a good
McDonald's
fried
hash
potato,
browns.
scallop potato.
Yeah.
It's hard for me. Scallop potatoes. It's hard for me to pick one,
There's
guys.
way
'Cause
too
I
many.
love a good potato. It
Twice
doesn't matter what
Cheesy
it is.
potatoes.
Cheesy potatoes. And twice baked. My father-in-law makes a fabulous twice baked potato.
You guys got to get yourself a potato today.
Yeah, so good.
Okay, do you have a least favorite kind? I had to go with sweet potatoes. I've never been a big sweet, but there they are.
I just got sweet potato fries at the store yesterday. I love those.
I'm not a big sweet
I like
potato
sweet potato
girly.
fries, but not like mashed sweet potatoes on Thanksgiving. Like that's not on my plate ever.
Nope. Okay.
You
Yeah.
might not be cooking it right because my family makes a mean sweet
My
potato
mom
on
loves sweet
Thanksgiving.
I just don't
potatoes
like them.
with the brown sugar and all
Yeah,
that.
my mom makes good ones. I just don't like sweet potatoes.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Same.
All right, well, foggy start, but we're going to see the sunshine later in the day.
Yay,
You wear
sun.
the yellow to prove that, and that's going to actually stick around for quite some time. We'll talk about that in a sneak peek of Labor Day weekend next weekend coming up.
New this morning, flooding in Beloit. See what could impact your drive to work.
I'm sure there are people that have carried weapons into my car that I didn't know about.
Plus, an attempted armed robbery has rideshare drivers concerned. What police say about crimes toward drivers.
And the city of Madison is getting closer to a new police chief. How you can get involved in the hiring process. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now This Morning on your Tuesday. I'm Kyrie Lee.
And I'm Michelle Renee Quinn, filling in for Chris Stanford.
Do the little cha-cha slide this morning. A little
It's
slide of the
because
camera.
Savannah doesn't want to stand by us anymore.
I forgot, guys.
It's
Let me come
okay.
over there.
It's okay.
I was like, wait, we are missing someone, but yeah, you know.
I'm back this
Alongside
on this
meteorologist Savannah Breeden.
Sorry,
There
guys.
goes another cha-cha
My fault, my
slide.
fault. We're
Yes.
sliding on in here.
Yes.
On this Tuesday morning.
Sliding on into the
Tuesday.
Tuesday work week. Hope you're up and at 'em this morning. We had a little bit of visibility issues coming in this morning, so.
That's what we're currently still dealing with. Madison, not so much, but surrounding areas are still on the lower side. So, yeah, that's the big story. We've got some fog out there, but we'll see the sunshine finally return after yesterday's severe weather and also all that flooding. Still waking up with some ponding on the roadways, and especially in hard-hit areas down in Rock County, the Janesville, and especially Beloit areas. Monroe's down to just half a mile of visibility. That's where the most dense of fog is this morning locally. We're up to 8 miles in Madison. These numbers have been fluctuating all morning. Wisconsin Dells was up to full visibility. Now they're down to 2. And Black River Falls, just to our northwest, is down to 1. By mid to late morning, fog will clear, and then we'll slowly start to see the sunshine. We have a lot of cloud cover that we're waking up to right now. 65 in Madison, 70 in Janesville, 69 in Lone Rock, and 64 in Wisconsin Dells. When you're looking at our highs the next several days, mid to upper 70s, maybe an 80 on Friday. Looks like one of the better days, but when you compare that to where we should be, upper 70s, lower 80s, a few degrees cooler than that. And then Labor Day weekend is actually looking pretty cold for this time of year. We'll talk about how low those temperatures are going to get coming up.
Savannah, thank you. New this morning, people in Beloit are waking up to flooded roads after significant rain.
Take a look at this video. It's from one of our viewers, Andrea. Now, if you live in Beloit, drive only when necessary and avoid flooded roads. Andrea sent this in from Beloit. And we don't currently know the specific roads that are still impacted, but we'll be sending updates on where to avoid over the air or on channel3000.com.
This morning, police are still searching for a suspect in a shooting on Madison's southwest side. Police say it happened on Allied Drive. Police say a man with a gunshot wound to the leg was transported to the hospital and later released with non-life-threatening injuries. No arrests have been made in connection to this shooting. Police urge anyone with information to come forward.
Now to continuing coverage of an upcoming village board election in DeForest. A new candidate is set to run in this special election. Stacey Peterson has announced her candidacy, saying her campaign will focus on supporting responsible growth, strengthening quality of life, prioritizing essential services, and ensuring respectful and transparent leadership. The special election comes after the village board certified a petition to recall trustee Bill Landgraf. Residents who created the petition say it's because he had intimidated and harassed them. His behavior, which had led to police involvement, was exacerbated by the controversial fluoride vote. Landgraf has said he'll run again, and the election is set for September 16th.
Rideshare drivers are questioning their safety after a rideshare driver was almost robbed at gunpoint over the weekend. Early Sunday morning, a rideshare driver dropped off 2 passengers near Meriter Hospital when they pulled out a gun and demanded his phone and money. Before he could hand over anything, they ran away. David Zahn, a retired man who drives for Uber on busy nights in Madison to make extra money, says the incident prompted him to reevaluate his routes.
I can't say I'm real concerned, but definitely is a real thing. I always have a dash cam on recording, importantly, inside and outside the car. I'm sure there are people that have carried weapons into my car that I didn't know about.
Madison police say they often receive calls from rideshare drivers and taxi drivers about passengers refusing to exit the vehicle. However, they say Sunday's call was unusual. They say they still don't know why the suspects did not complete the robbery.
New developments in the case against the father of the Abundant Life school shooter. Jeffrey Ruppnau's attorneys are pushing to dismiss the charges against him. They argue that the legal theory linking him to the tragedy is flawed and infringes on his Second Amendment rights. Ruppnau is charged with intentionally giving a dangerous weapon to a person under 18 and contributing to child delinquency. His 15-year-old daughter opened fire at Abundant Life, killing her classmate, a teacher, and hurting 6 others before killing herself.
In other news this morning, Madison residents can now access recordings of closed-door interviews as the police department seeks your feedback on hiring a new chief. The candidates include Interim Police Chief John Patterson, Milwaukee Assistant Police Chief Stephen Johnson, and Madison Police Training Captain Stephanie Drescher. The candidates answered questions about the increased focus on immigration enforcement and the role of local policing.
We will not arrest, we will not contact, detain, or investigate anyone for the sole purpose of the enforcement of immigration law or investigation of immigration status laws.
If local law enforcement are enforcing immigration laws, you have our community not participating fully in their civil process.
Enforcing federal immigration laws is going to deteriorate that trust that has taken years to build up and relationships that have built up.
This all ahead of a special meeting of the Police and Fire Commission on Monday, August 25th. Members of the public can register to speak or submit written comments via email.
Nationally, right now, Air Canada will gradually resume service today after reaching a settlement with its flight attendant union. This after 10,000 airlines went on strike, leaving flights grounded and customers stranded since Saturday. The first flights are scheduled for this evening, but customers are advised that the airline's return to full regular service may require 7 to 10 days as aircraft and crew are out of position.
In other national news, the White House is now working on the next steps to end the Russia-Ukraine war. It comes after President Trump met with Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky and other European leaders. During the hours-long meeting, Trump continued to dismiss calls for a ceasefire and instead pushed for a peace deal. Multiple European leaders continue to urge for a ceasefire be made instead.
The State Department is releasing new data on how many student visas have been revoked as some students get ready to return to campus. One official said more than 6,000 visas were pulled this year, with 2/3 of them stemming from alleged criminal violations. It comes amid new rules requiring applicants to make their social media public. Some critics warn these factors may drive up to 40% of international students away from the U.S. Happening tomorrow, WISC-TV and Television Wisconsin will activate 2 new transmitters.
This upgrade will provide antenna viewers with a clearer picture of our programming. However, you will need to rescan your TV after the launch to receive the improved signal. To do this, open your TV's menu, select settings, then choose channel scan or auto tune. We will also post these instructions over on our website. That's channel3000.com/rescan.
In 2005, people around Wisconsin were picking up the pieces after 27 tornadoes hit the state, the most ever in one day. In the Stoughton area, that included an F3 tornado. The tornado moved for 20 miles on the ground parallel to Route 51. Hundreds of homes were no longer. 56 different fire departments responded from as far as Cherry Valley, Illinois. Former Stoughton Fire Chief Martin Lamer says he's not forgotten what he saw the morning after.
The surprise of the massive destruction. I mean, things were, after just a few minutes, everything was gone. We were seeing homes that were, totally flat.
While they couldn't rebuild lost memories, residents say it's all become a memory of community strength.
Now to sports news. The Brewers had a chance to start their new streak this week. That's during the first in 5-game series in Chicago. Take a look at this here. It was scoreless in the third. Well, that's until Bryce Terang touched them all. His 13th homer of the year and his 7th in the month of August makes it 1-0 Crew. And in the 5th, Terang says one is nice, but twice is Bryce. He drives in another run, and the Brewers beat the Cubs 7-0. The Brewers and Cubs play a doubleheader. You can catch tonight's game on our sister station, Television Wisconsin, at 6:40.
Oh, our Brewers back at it.
Yeah, that streak that they had going, I know they're trying to replenish it, start over again. So hopefully they can get it done in Chicago.
Yeah, hopefully, and then maybe they'll get more free burgers.
More burgers, yeah. Love it.
Let's check in now with Savannah Brito. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. We've got a lot of sunshine in the forecast later in the day. We're waking up with fog and a lot of cloud cover right now, but that won't set the tone for the entire Tuesday nor the work week. We actually see a lot more sunshine tomorrow and a little bit of cooler temperatures. We're looking at highs that reach the mid to upper 70s today. Maybe an 80, that can't be ruled out, but the dry weather, that's actually going to stick around for quite some time, not only today and tonight, but check out our rain chances, pretty much slim to none. That's the next 7 days, so that'll extend into this upcoming weekend. We'll have a sneak peek on what you can expect then as far as rain and the temperature outlook heading into next weekend. That's coming up in a bit.
Savannah, thank you. Coming up in your consumer news, we're helping you save money this back-to-school season. A look at where some parents are choosing to shop at.
Plus, a new partnership looking to keep you cozy this football season. We'll tell you how 2 companies are combining beer and soup.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Welcome back. We're keeping the focus on your wallet this back-to-school season. Continuing tariffs are causing prices for many back-to-school items to continue to rise drastically. Because of this, K-12 families are expected to spend an average of $858 this year. This is causing 74% of families to begin their shopping much earlier. Lifestyle experts say to take advantage of price matching, Target and Walmart will only price match from their own website. However, Office Depot, Staples, and Best Buy will price match competitors.
I would look for sales, of course, and then also consider refurbished. A lot of retailers offer refurbished items that also come with a warranty, and that's a really good option if you're looking to save.
Experts also recommend you double check you don't already have some of those items at home.
But the increase in prices may be causing more parents to conduct their back-to-school shopping at pawn shops. Easy Pawn is reporting that their stores saw a 4% rise in sales last quarter. Some of the biggest selling items included shoes, laptops, and even mini fridges. The possible reason for this? Items sold at pawn shops are sometimes 50% cheaper than when on store shelves.
In other consumer news this morning, early data from the USDA shows Wisconsin growers are set to harvest 5.3 million barrels of cranberries this year. This means we will produce 2/3 of the nation's supply, making this the 31st year as the country's top producer. Cranberries are grown on 25,000 acres across northern and central counties. 5% is sold fresh. The rest is processed and frozen. Cranberries are the state's official fruit, and the industry creates 4,000 jobs and contributes $1 billion to our state's economy.
Patients in the United States can now get Ozempic for half the price if they pay in cash. Novo Nordisk, the maker of the diabetes drug, announced that U.S. patients can now get a month's supply for just under $500. It typically carries a list price of around $1,000 a month. The deal is for those who pay for medications on their own and don't go through insurance. The move comes as President Trump is pressuring drug makers to lower drug costs.
MSNBC is getting a name change and a new look. The network is rebranding to MS Now, which stands for My Source News Opinion World. According to the company, it'll also lose NBC's Peacock logo. NBC Universal announced last year that it would spin off MSNBC and other networks like CNBC and USA Network to a new business called Versant.
Restaurants may have raised menu prices over the past few years due to rising costs and inflation, but one chain is bringing back a popular value promotion for the same price that it used to be. The Olive Garden Never-Ending Pasta Bowl deal returns next week for $13.99. Customers can order unlimited pasta along with unlimited soup or salad and, of course, breadsticks. And that promotion runs from August 25th to November 16th.
With the fall football and soup season on the horizon, Campbell's Chunky Soup and Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer are stirring things up with a new collaboration. They're offering 2 soups infused with PBR flavor without the alcohol, of course. They are beer cheese with potatoes and chorizo soup, and beef bacon beer chili with beans. So these soups will be available exclusively at Walmart and Walmart's website later this month. Are these some combinations you guys can get on board with?
I'm just gonna make my soup at home.
At home?
At home. I'm gonna home make my soup. I don't.
You know,
I'm okay. I think I'm good on that one.
I feel like it might have some promise.
Yeah.
Maybe not the Pabst.
I'll bring it in. You can try it for our talker block.
Actually, you know what? I'll do that.
Okay, there you go.
Thank
Stay
you.
tuned in the future. We're gonna have some beer soup without the alcohol.
So
of
it
course.
doesn't have beer in it?
No, it doesn't. It said it doesn't.
But it's just PBR. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
the PBR flavor.
Yeah.
So that could give her, you know. But we're gonna find out
You know
because
what? I
they're
should
gonna
have
have
gone
Walmart.
Do it on my off day.
I'll be there to go. I'll make sure it's when you're here. I'm gonna go pick that up whenever it hits the stores.
You know what? There's a lot of other things that could be a lot worse, like pickles or something with pickle flavor. So I'll try that just for the TV part of it. I'll try it. The big story in the weather department, we've got some fog out there. Madison's been holding steady at about 8 miles. Once we get past that 9 a.m. time frame, all the fog is going to move out of here and visibilities come up. The dense fog advisory is out across Iowa. Well to our west, Cora's held stagnant at 0 miles. Black River Falls currently down to 3/4 mile. Monroe's under 2. Same with Camp Douglas and other areas that are dealing with the light patchy fog. Wisconsin Dells, they're down to 3 miles. So lighter patchy fog affecting most of southern Wisconsin. We've got mild temperatures though. Some of us are still holding on to 70, 71 in Prairie du Chien, 70 in Janesville, but we're down to 65 in Madison. And that's where most of us across southern Wisconsin are. Mid to upper 60s. There's a couple of us that are cooler. Watoma and Juneau both at 63 this morning. That's a live look out of Platteville. You could see a lot more of that fog out there on this camera before the sun did rise. And now that rose, we're pretty much seeing those conditions start to clear out of Grant County. Temperatures will reach the mid to even upper 70s. That's a couple degrees below normal and actually where we're going to stay for quite some time. We even have some cooler days in the near future too. Starting off humid, it's still muggy outside. Dew points are on their way down though. Janesville's still holding on to a dew point of nearly 70 degrees. That's what Dubuque, Iowa is sitting at. We're at 64 though, not as bad in Madison. And these come down a little bit tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. But then for Saturday and Sunday, those come down to actually about 50 degrees or even under that. So it'll be a lot more comfortable once we get to the weekend and even early next week. A sneak peek at Labor Day weekend. I think we're going to be dry, at least probably near normal precipitation. Southeastern Wisconsin drier than normal. And then as far as temperatures go, we might only have highs heading into Labor Day in the mid to upper 60s. So, you know, if you're out boating on the lake, any of the lakes across Wisconsin and Madison area, you might want a sweatshirt and sweatpants.
People are going to take advantage of that. I mean, you got to get it in. You got to get it in while you
It'll still be nice, just not as warm as, you know, going out with a bang for the last weekend of summer, the unofficial
Right, but
end
it's
of
a
summer.
perfect opportunity, like, to maybe go for a hike or
Yeah.
play like volleyball
You
or
won't be
pickleball.
drenched in sweat.
Yes, because it'll be a little bit cooler, so it won't
Exactly.
be as bad.
I'm glad we got the dry conditions too.
That's true. That's true. We have been dealing with a lot of wet weather. So.
I know, flooding. Now we're going to see some sunshine.
All right. Well, Savannah, thank you. And if you want Savannah to plan your day, she'd love to do so. So please send us in some things. You can record a video. You can send a picture of yourself or a pet maybe, or you can even just send us an email with your name, share your name and where you live, then send it our way. You can send it via our website, the First Warn Weather app, Facebook Messenger, or email. Then watch around this time every morning to see if you come on the air. And coming up in the morning sprint, the American Red Cross issuing an urgent call for volunteers, how you can get involved.
But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, let us know so we can share their picture and wish them a happy birthday on TV. Time for the morning sprint.
Beloit residents are waking up to flooded roads after significant rain. Let's take a look at a video here from one of our viewers, Andrea. You can see if you live in Beloit, drive only when necessary and avoid flooded roads. We do not currently know the specific roads that are impacted, but we will send updates on where to avoid over the air and on channel3000.com.
This morning, a suspect in a shooting on Madison's southwest side is still at large. Authorities say officers were called to the 2200 block of Alley Drive near Verona Road for a report of a man being shot in the leg. This happened around 4:20 Sunday afternoon. One person did go to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries, and police urge anyone with information to come forward.
With extreme weather events on the rise, the American Red Cross of Wisconsin is asking for your help responding to local and nationwide emergencies. The group issued an urgent call for volunteers, saying it needs more trained responders who can deploy at a moment's notice. The Red Cross says volunteers will receive free, flexible training and can choose roles that work within their schedules.
Stacey Peterson has announced her candidacy for the Village of DeForest special election. The election comes after the village board certified a petition to recall trustee Bill Landgraf. Residents say he intimidated and harassed them, citing the controversial fluoride vote as a breaking point. Landgraf has said he will run again, and that election is set for September 16th.
Much of North Carolina's Outer Banks region is under a tropical storm watch as Hurricane Erin continues to make its way across the Atlantic. The Category 4 storm is expected to move between Bermuda and the Carolina coast tomorrow and Thursday while gradually weakening. A surge of up to 4 feet and waves as high as 20 feet are possible.
Jeffrey Ruppnau's attorneys are pushing to dismiss the charges against him in connection with the Abundant Life school shooting. They argue that the legal theory linking him to the tragedy is flawed and infringes on his Second Amendment rights. Ruppnau faces charges for allegedly providing a weapon to his 15-year-old daughter, who killed her classmate, teacher, and injured 6 others before taking her own life.
Well, we finally got the dry conditions that will return to southern Wisconsin. Lots of sunshine, and you see 10% chance of rain, so that's basically nothing, at least through next Thursday. So finally got a weekend that looks pretty good. We're gonna have comfortable dew points too and sunshine. How about that? A little cool, but you know, I'll take that over the muggy conditions, the storms, the breezy, the hazy skies. So pretty decent weekend ahead and overall work week.
Yeah, the daytime temps are looking good. I feel like that's comfortable. You know, not too bad.
And nighttime temps that get in the 50s.
We'll take it.
Okay.
Thanks for watching News 3 Now this morning. Coming up next is CBS Morning.